Hello Uganda, welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I am Brian Tumwine Biaruhanga. And now to our first story. Speaker of Parliament Annette Among has emphasized the need of African leaders learning from one another, citing shared challenges, similar levels of development and traditions. Now she made the remarks while meeting the delegation from the government of Malawi, led by the Minister of Justice, Titus Edward Songwiso, and they had discussions on the strategies and to enhance service delivery across the African countries. The delegation is in Uganda for a 4-day benchmarking, a visit with the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. We have the details.
And I've always told my ministers here and my members of parliament, if you want to do benchmarking, let's do it from countries where we can be able to learn something. And I'm happy you've appreciated what Uganda does. We cannot go and do benchmarking in New York because there's nothing we are going to borrow from there. We cannot turn Uganda to be a New York of Africa, no. African problems are solved locally. So I want to thank you for choosing that, and we will always be available to support you in whatever you want. If you want some of us to deploy our staff for you, we can give you our staff that can be able to help you, and so that we really do our work in a very efficient way. You'll have gotten what you wanted to get from Uganda. It will be coming over to Malawi now that we have a stronger relationship, stronger cooperation. We should be able to continuously visit you. We want to thank you also and thank Parliament of Malawi for always sending members of Parliament to come to Uganda. They've come several times and they are continuing to come. We have that cordial relationship between Uganda, Malawi, and all the other African countries. And Uganda is always home. It's the pearl of Africa. So it is always home. Anytime you're most welcome.
And to our next story. The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Honorable Baram Barugahara, has addressed the Economic and Social Council Forum, calling for stronger youth involvement in global decision-making. Now, his remarks were part of the broader discussions on youth development, innovation, and global cooperation. We have the details.
Minister of Uganda. Okay.
Hello. Honorable Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greetings from the Republic of Uganda and appreciate the United Nations Office of the Special Advisor on Africa, UNDP, the African Union Commission, the Pan-African Youth Union convening this very timely session. Today's theme speaks to the heart of Uganda's development agenda. We recognize the youth are not just beneficiaries of development, they are central actors in shaping its trajectory. With over 73.2% of our population under the age of 30, Uganda continues to invest deliberately in science, technology, and innovation as key enablers of job creation and inclusive growth. The 11th session of African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development, hosted in Kampala recently, which was attended by you, Honorable Chair, Uganda, under the theme of youth job creation and realization of SDG in Africa, echoed a powerful call to action to place youth at the heart of Africa's transformation agenda. The forum emphasized the meaningful youth engagement in critical to achieving Agenda 2063 and the SDG. Today's session builds on this outcome by offering global stage to advance STI-driven solution for Africa development. Uganda reaffirms its commitment to empowering young people as key actors in transforming challenges into opportunities for inclusive growth, digital transformation, and sustainable peace across the continent. We are scaling up youth skilling initiatives through our national skilling programs, innovation hubs, the presidential industrial hub across the country. These platforms are not only enhancing employability, but also supporting young entrepreneurs to turn scientific ideas into viable business. Moreover, our national science, technology, and innovation policy on marginalization of youth include young women and persons with disability. We strongly believe that inclusivity must be embedded in every innovation. As we move towards 2030, Uganda remains committed to empowering youth to lead in creating solutions that respond to climate change, food security, digital transformation, and health. Science must only create jobs, it must also bridge divides and uplift all communities. Let us continue to work together to unlock Africa's demographic dividend by investing in the ingenuity, resilience, and scientific potential of our youth in Africa. I thank you. Greetings from the President of Uganda.
Thank you so much.
And now to our next story. Now, Uganda's business process outsourcing sector is an emerging industry with a significant potential to drive economic growth and employment opportunity. Now, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of ICTs, Dr. Sarah Zawede, shares insights on how Uganda has recently positioned itself as a growing outsourcing hub in Africa. We have the details.
Early this year, we launched the business process outsourcing policy, a policy which is going to enable the ecosystem or the environment of business process outsourcing to thrive. When you have an ecosystem, there are players in there, there are regulators, there are the people that you want to employ, the people who want to come to employ people. There has to be some way and standard of operation or way of doing work, which we didn't have to before, but now the policy has put that in place. And I want Ugandans out there to know that us government launching the BPO policy did not mean that we didn't have BPO before. BPO activities have been going on in this country for the last over 10 years. But it's just that individuals go and look for their own jobs. You find people working for Europe, working for the United States of America, working for Canada, Australia, online. And we know them. Some are bloggers, some are influencers, some are doing work in terms of administrative work and support, but they are doing it individually. However, government wants to create a bigger impact. And that is the intention as to why we came up with the policy, because all governments that have thrived in business process outsourcing, you look at India, it is #1. You look at the Philippines, it is #2 in business process outsourcing. They have put structures in place. So Uganda didn't have that before. We now have it in place. So the policy is going to be the basis of attracting more people who are going to employ Ugandans. So far we have companies that have employed Ugandans. The latest that has set up is a firm called Helpware. It is an American-based firm, but it has global representation in different continents. It had not set up in Uganda yet, but it set up in Uganda about 2 years ago. And to date, they have employed 300 people. Their target is to employ 2,000 people by the end of this by the end of this calendar year. That is by the end of December. That is their target. We have other BPO firms. There is one called Marifasasa in Gulu. So BPO is not only in Kampala, even it is in other parts of the country. Marifasasa is an entity that is employing people to work in the US and in Europe, but working from Gulu using the internet. So they log in and then do work for these countries. Probably while the people in America are sleeping, the people in Gulu are working because of the time zones. And with this, we are seeing more and more business process outsourcing businesses grow. So to date, we are projecting that we shall earn up to over $3 million by the end of this year from BPO only. If we if we create more awareness of our policy. So far we have a project with the Japanese company, with the Japanese government under JICA, called UJ Connect. UJ stands for Uganda, and Uganda-Japan Connect. That project is supporting innovators to match with companies in Japan that are interested in employing, especially innovators who are doing coding and developing applications.
Good insights from the Permanent Secretary of ICT. Now to our next story. The CEO of the annual Agricultural Sector Awards, Grace Musumami, together with the civil society organizations in agriculture, has appreciated the outgoing country representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, Dr. Antonio Querido. Now, Dr. Querido, who has served in Uganda since 2018, was applauded for his outgoing contributions to the country's agricultural development sector. We have the details.
You always about Uganda and the work that you have done for the food and nutrition of the people of Uganda.
For us, we believe as annual agriculture sector award that people who do well in the agriculture sector should be recognized, should be appreciated. So he's been leaving, but he has been one of the people who started to support and push for awarding people and saying people should be recognized. And these awards aim to recognize effort in order to inspire the future agriculture innovators, agriculture entrepreneurs, and the youth to say that agriculture really is rewarding and it's a sector that is able, that recognizes people who do their best.
You gave us a lot of space to engage and constructive engagement. FAO gave us support under your leadership. Countrymen and countrywomen, I recall the day I visited Dr. Antonio in his office when he was just a little time in Uganda. I recall that day. He was still learning, but very receptive.
The actors in the organic movement, and by extension the agroecology movement, feel so special and very proud having been associated with you as the person, but also with FA, the organization that you've been leading.
We fought so much that food safety in this country is seen to to take shape. I want to thank you so much, and we shall wish you all the best. We can never forget you, and you are leading, above all, you are leading in this country. Having achieved, having come up with the most important game changers for sustainable food systems.
Friendship. Thank you for the support. I felt home, and I take so many good and positive experience of my tenure here in all sphere, interaction with farmers, interaction with civil society organization. I felt home. I felt a place that I can come back again, and I can come back to a group of friends that together we have done our level best to leave at least a push in the right direction. We have seen that the sector is growing, and the potential for even better growth is there. And I would like to ask you, particularly actors in the civil society space, to continue to lend the voice, to continue to amplify the voice of our farmers, to ensure that the voice of the poor women of Uganda, the voice of the youth, have a space in the decision-making process, have a space in the allocation of resources. Smart.
And now to our next report. Government is being urged to step up efforts to ensure a steady supply of sickle cell disease medication to hospitals and establish specialized healthcare facilities for the treatment and management of the disease. Advocates are calling for an upgrade of the health facilities nationwide to improve the service delivery, particularly for those living with sickle cell disease. We have the details.
Uganda's sickle cell prevalence stands at 13.3%, with at least 15,000 babies born with the disease each year, posing a challenge for both children and their families. This has left many mothers and patients in distress due to limited availability and high cost of essential medication.
Our recent visit at one of the general hospitals, we witnessed a dire situation where a majority of our warriors had a shortage with this medication. Across Uganda, there are many sickle cell patients that require this kind of medication on a daily basis.
Advocates are now urging the government to prioritize for individuals with sickle cell disease by ensuring access to affordable medication and improving healthcare infrastructure.
We are not yet able to produce it locally. So we are appealing to the government of Uganda to facilitate the importation of these drugs,
to continue supporting us in areas where we need immense guidelines and more medication.
A capsule of hydroxyla costs between 1,000 shillings to 2,000 shillings for the 250 mg dosage, while the 500 mg version can cost 3,000 shillings.
The quantity of these donations will actually go to different institutions. Sarafina being on top of all this, they're the ones who came to us first, and we recognize their fight against sickle cell. We are hoping that these products will help in supporting these warriors.
It has come at a crucial time where we can help our warriors, support them towards getting this medication on time and to support their well-being.
Rebecca Natongo, UBC News.
Thank you, Nantongo, for that report. Now, youth have been urged to focus on nurturing their talents and positioning themselves for leadership roles in order to remain competitive on the global stage. Now, this call was made during the Nyerere Youth Day at Nyerere University at an event organized to honor Julius Nyerere's contributions. We have the story.
As a family. So to me that is...
The Julius Nyerere Youth Day brought together youth leaders to showcase solutions designed to promote political inclusion for both the youth and the girl child. Participants were encouraged to prioritize addressing the challenges facing Uganda's political landscape.
And holding yourself responsible and accountable, whether the consequences are negative or positive, should be able to hold yourself accountable. And because these are decisions that you make as a person, and accepting that you can also make mistakes, getting feedback from the people so that you know how to correct them, and in that way you build trust with the people you're making and with the connection that people describe.
Efforts to promote youth and women's inclusion in politics continue to face challenges, including a lack of position-centered learning and limited inclusion of women in leadership roles.
I think men, we are scared that the moment these women rise up, we are gone. We are no more. Looking at how women have been developing, I think we need to get rid of that mindset. That women too can. That we have the same opportunities, have the same freedom of expression, have the same, just like women, men and women.
The fact that they just stayed there and said, okay, this time let's see how a lady is going to lead. And at the end of the day, I get into that position and all I do is become greedy. Then meaning I wasn't true to my leadership. Meaning I looked at leadership as a position of escalating and being up there in society, but at my own selfish interests. Give back to community, serve them diligently, it depends. Even after going through, I'm still an active listener. Be down to earth, love the students.
Achieving youth transformation requires increased public awareness and a shift in mindset. This awareness is vital to building public confidence in the empowerment of the youth into influential leadership positions.
Do you really believe Africa or Uganda or East Africa in particular can really have changes in these administrative systems to favor or benefit the needed people of these countries in like bottom upwards approach, like let us start from the families and go up, because I do believe most of these structures, these systems, the oppressive systems and the corruption starts from the top coming down. And if we believe pushing from down to top, do you really believe that will work out and help the suffering Africans, languishing in poverty, when leaders are living the best lives of the world can work out?
The 2025 Julius Nyerere Youth Festival has set a precedent for making a significant impact on the young people, driving mindset change and contributing to the continent's economic growth. Komagum Rogers and Among and Gaba for UBC.
I thank you, Ngabo and Rogers, for that report. Now, the youth from various parts of the country, led by the Ransom Chijambo, have launched a political pressure group called the Generation Rescue Front. Now, this group aims to push reforms in the electoral system to ensure free and fair elections. We have the details.
There have been a virtue whereby the citizens of Uganda decide their choice, and sometimes you find that some few people interfere with the choice of the Ugandans. So as the younger people, as the younger men and women, as the younger generation who has the DNA of the Uganda Younger Democrats, we came out and we say enough is enough. Stop to tamper with the decision of the people of Uganda. A meeting with Mr. Byabakama of the Electoral Commission in a systematic way and in the language Mr. Byabakama understand clearly, to see that really they accept every Ugandans to make choice of their own, to participate in the affairs of in the nation. So long as you are standing in the path of the people, or you stand in the path of the democracy, the Generation Rescue Front, we are more than ready.
Generation Rescue Front! Freedom is our hands!
The School of Law at Makerere University has held a mock session earning praise from the High Court approach that exposes students early to real court rooms. Now, during the session, law students showcased their legal skills in the stimulated court proceeding that featured oral arguments, judicial questioning, and formal procedures. We have the details.
Mock trials that we use in law school to train our students and equip them with practical skills. So we enhance their practical skills by giving them the opportunity to submit before actual judges, so that they are able to learn the etiquette of court, they are able to learn the decorum of court and how to address judges. What else?
My message to the young lawyers and lawyers to be that we are training is that they have the big opportunity to make a significant contribution, especially in as far as promoting the rule of law is concerned, as far as promoting democracy is concerned, and as far as promoting the respect and protection of human rights is concerned. But whether they will be able to make that significant contribution largely also depends on how serious they take their duty. Remember, law is a noble profession. They should take it as that and work hard so that they leave a mark.
Now, viewers, UBC Lunchtime News takes a short break, and don't touch your remote.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Mikolo Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano ine komyewo wakati wena zomezi mwenda paka 11 Mei Lugugu Uma Showgrounds event service providers naba business endala zonna mwandu bademu ayuna Mikolo Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano emidala jiri kumitwalo nkaga ino bronze mitwalo chinana ku silver ate gold yakakadde kalamba kogata platinum yakamuchi tundu okuyingira Mikolo Business Expo kome pirabiri mwetano kwa 15 zokka kati wosasula omudala obosasulide ekifo tenti emeza entebe 2 kogata amasanyalaze ne security okumanya ebisingawo kuba 0707 mukaga 20 292 oba 0776 mukaga 20 292 bitedwa mu Center for the Genex Limited Lean Events Crane Performers Chabasa Farmer BBS Telefina UBC Rosie Roots City Bridals Joyce Sonko Textiles Channel Ladies Choice Njuvu Estates Junigo Rio Deco Victory Travel Center Tender Gardens Eco Farm Pharmacy Mikolo Magazine ne Pepsi.
We used to run, but most of the time we were running away from something. But nowadays, everything seems different. People still run, but they are running towards something. They run to test their limits, to break new records. And when we do it right, we inspire others.
The inaugural Coffee Marathon, uplifting rural coffee women, 24th May at Africa Coffee Park, Ntungamo.
Come, let us run.
To register, dial *217 *413#. Choose option 4. Or scan the event QR code, or visit the website to choose the race options. Brought to you by Inspire Africa Group.
Kama nemo pocket, tambula body street, issues are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission. Internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo kaloni, nigga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Welcome back from that break. And now to our next story. Now, Uganda's fourth National Development Plan 2025 to 2026 to 2029 to 2030 will address the creative arts and culture sectors, primarily leveraging culture and the creative economy for employment and domestic resource mobilization. This was during the National Planning Authority 4th Annual National Development Policy Forum held under the theme, The Creative Industry as a Catalyst for Economic Growth Harnessing. We have the details.
We want UNCC to change your outdated law.
The culture and creatives industry of Uganda still suffers major setbacks, critical being a lack of sufficient funding and also operating on outdated policies. The National Development Plan 4 is expected to prioritize these issues. The government, through the National Planning Authority and the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, intends to prioritize funding and policy reviews to establish the creative and cultural sectors for employment and domestic resource mobilization.
I think one of the most important things is to have periodic reviews and updates of the policy. Just imagine the Culture Policy and the Copyright Act have been reviewed after over 16 years, and the UNCC Act after over 60 years.
Creatives contribute 3.1% of global GDP and 6.2% of global employment. However, due to weak laws and poor implementation, Uganda still struggles to account for the arts sector, a major hindrance to its advancement.
We need data. We need to measure how much money we contribute to the economy, but there's no mechanism to track what money is made through the culture policy because it is somewhere left in the background. No one thinks that it is part of development or it contributes to GDP. So we need information. We need to formalize the way the creative economy is viewed on paper and in reality.
The Executive Director, National Planning Authority, Dr. Joseph Muvawala, hinted on how taxing creatives should be revisited.
Can you imagine that music equipment and other equipment are not tax exempt? But who tells you that these are not inputs for production? These are inputs for production. If I was the one making that decision, I'll leave you with the income, then I tax you for everything you consume. Can you stop consuming?
However, some creatives think differently.
Ekyokusasula omusolo tekyalibadde kizibu kya muyimbi oba creative yenna singa gavumenti eteekawo amateeka agayamba munnakitone okufuna ssente ze z'abakoleredde. Nze sirina buzibu kusasula musolo. Red Band tasobola kuba na buzibu bwa kusasula musolo 18% singa aba afunye 100% ye gye yateekamu ki ssente ze. So okujjawo okusasula omusolo si ye problem. No, problem weri tuteekewo amateeka n'engeri zonna eziyamba bannabitone okusasula ssente ze bakoleredde.
Other issues discussed at this year's annual National Development Policy Forum included skills training, regulatory coordination, intellectual property, and patenting, among others. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
I thank you, Mark, for that report. Now, Gaba market traders have appealed to the government to expedite construction of the state-of-the-art market on the land they secured in 2003 and protect it from the alleged land grabbers. Now, this follows reports from identified people who are expressing interest in turning the land into a washing bay. We have the details.
Government, through Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, secured land in Gaba and designated it for a market to accommodate over 3,500 vendors in 2003. To prevent encroachment, the 1.5-acre plot was fenced off. Recently, a signpost was erected by an unidentified individual advertising the land as a parking yard and a washing bay.
Lwaleero olunaku z'omwezi ga 16 wabaddewo obutali bumativu ng'abantu bannakyegwanyiza baagala akatale kano bakeetwalire bateekemu washing bay ekitabadde kituufu.
Ne mu sisitimu ya movement oba mu sisitimu ya gavumenti wawonna we kiri nti ekifo kino kyagazeetingiddwa nti egenda kubeera washing bay. Tetulina we tukimanyidde wonna ku bukulembeze obwa levels zonna. N'olw'ensonga eyo gavumenti bw'ebanga ekwata bannakigwanyizi ababba ettaka n'abeegwanyiza ebintu ebitali byabwe bano baali badde basula na munda leero.
We suspect that the same KCCA that evicts vendors from the streets is behind this.
I request all of you members to be alert that no one grabs our land.
Residents and prospective vendors have voiced concerns over what they describe as blatant land grabbing. Area leaders, too, expressed shock at the development.
I sit on the LC committee, but I have never been told of this. Even then, why doesn't the developer follow the law?
The LC1 chairman, Gabriel Musisi, says they wrote to KCCA leadership seeking clarification but received no response.
I call on government, President Museveni, ministers and others to come and explain this new development.
On Wednesday, Makindye Division Resident City Commissioner Caroline Nashemeza visited the site to assess the situation and seek a resolution.
I bring you greetings from the President.
During the visit, RCC Nashemeza tried addressing the angry vendors, but tensions only escalated.
Kindly listen to me. Our role is to investigate who is behind all this. I am very happy that even the media is here. I am sure the so-called developer will know you are serious people. And since this land was bought on the directives of the President, so don't worry.
With resistance mounting, the RCC ordered the site be locked until investigations are complete.
It is to keep away encroachers, but also ensure peace prevails.
However, this directive sparked another standoff as residents accused some leaders of betrayal.
I am a KCCA area committee chair, but I don't have any clue about this saga. We already agreed not to cause any confusion here, but again, we are going nowhere.
Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Straight to international news. Now, the UK Supreme Court has ruled that under the Equality Act, the legal definition of a woman refers to biological sex. The Equality and Human Rights Commission says the new guidance for the public bodies covering spaces like hospital wards and hospitals, refugees is underway. We have the details.
The unanimous decision of this court is that the terms woman and sex in the Equality Act 2010 refer to a biological woman and biological sex.
Fantastic. You know, this is a victory for biology, for common sense, for reality. It's definitely a victory for lesbians as well. And it was specifically mentioned in the case how lesbians had been disadvantaged by this idea that maybe a man could be a woman and could be a lesbian if he had a certificate. And the ruling just absolutely blew that out of the water.
Well, I'm absolutely delighted that this ruling has clarified the law in the way that women's activists and lesbian rights activists like myself wanted.
Come out, Mary. They will find ways around. Yes.
From international now to sports, Uganda's junior golf team has been flagged off to Tunisia for the 2025 All-Africa Junior Team Championship. Now, this was by the National Council of Sports General Secretary Dr. Bernard Patrick, who applauded the Uganda Golf Union for its insistency on the youth. We have the details.
For this tournament,
I can say I'm ready. I've been practicing so hard, doing physical exercises and practicing daily. I feel like I'm really ready to deliver the best.
The team has been preparing. 2 weeks ago we had the high performance program, the in-country performance program, where we had 3 coaches from South Africa who came in to see how the team is doing, how they are preparing. And apart from the 3 who are out of the country, who are doing their studies in the sports academies out of the country, the 2 are in South Africa and then 1 in Australia. But the rest of them were here. They went through the training, they went through some drills that they were given to do. And that's what they've been doing from then, and also I myself working with them.
Viewers, UBC Lunchtime News has come to an end. Thank you for watching. Until next time, God bless Uganda.